any other profession, it's the three big E's we always refer to. The one would be a person needs to have education. Secondly is that a person has to have experience. And then thirdly, ethics. So those are the main three elements that a person has to have in order to be able to be a financial planner. I often think experience is underestimated. It really is a powerful add-on when it comes to financial planning. And I can explain that best by giving an example. I was recently approached by one of my client's friends whose partner passed away with an aneurysm, and I assisted her with the insurance claim. And what we found out in the process was that because he had an aneurysm and had a living will, they really wanted to give expression to his last wishes, which was to put off the life support when with something like this happens to him. And they took that decision not knowing that the policy stipulated that any person has to survive a specific period after the event, in this instance the aneurysm. So they eventually put off the life support prior to this period having been expired. So ultimately, when the claim was lodged with the insurance company, they obviously declined this insurance claim based on the fact that he didn't survive the period. So over and above that, this person had to take the most difficult decision during her lifetime, also having to deal with the loss of a very, very dear, close person. She also had the financial implications to deal with, because ultimately provision was made for cash shortfall in the estate and provision for maintenance and so forth. And now this policy didn't pay out. So the first thing that we did after her hearing about this kind of circumstances, we ensured that our living will is updated. And now we provide for a special clause in the living will that when that decision is taken by a family member, that they are made aware of certain information to make sure that they don't put off the life support prior to the expiry of certain periods. So these are very difficult situations that a person learn, and I think these are kind of things that, if it's not your expertise, you don't know what you don't know. And that we need to find ways to educate people to know what the implications are, not to go through these kind of situations again. Yes, definitely. Death is one of those areas that we don't want to talk about, but we have to plan around them, because most of us accumulate wealth, and we need to ensure that the wealth is passed to the next generation. And often when you do planning, you need to consider minors, and you also need to consider adult dependents, because often when you've got children with special needs and they are adults, who else is going to take care of them? And there we need to calculate what is going to be the amount that's going to require to ensure that that person is catered for during his or her lifetime. A person maybe need to make sure that there is a testamentary trust or a special trust set up for that minor, or also for the adult dependent. So there's different ways of dealing with death issues, and I think most of us don't want to talk about it because we think we're going to live forever, but that's not true. These are life events that happen, and we need to plan around them. Nobody wants to prepare for divorce, but I think it is a reality, especially if you look at the high number of divorces in South Africa. A person has to know that, you may have accumulated a lot of assets and think that you're going to retire financially free. However, if, you do get a maintenance claim, that could deplete quite a large bulk of your maintenance or your wealth pot, and it could not maybe be possible for you to fill up that pot up to retirement, or maybe you won't be able to have this lifestyle after the divorce. So it's best to, once again, to look at those and make provision for possible claims if they had to be.